Hi, there's Mr. Greg. Looks like we've got a 2D kinematics problem. It's asking us what's the minimum speed required to have a tennis ball clear a 0.9 meter net that is 15 meters away from the server who has a height of 1.9 meters. Because it doesn't explicitly say that an angle, we're going to assume that the ball's coming off completely horizontal, which makes things a whole lot easier. Okay. So for this problem, we got our three kinematics equations. In this case, there's only one we can really use to solve this because the other two we just don't have enough information for. So we're going to have to use that second equation, where we know, and in the problem it gives us the final height, the 0.9 meters, the initial height of 1.9 meters, initial velocity, since it starts off horizontal. Remember, if you drop something that instantly leaves your hands, its velocity is 0, and then it starts moving downward. So that's actually nice because then we can cross out that term. Didn't want to do that. I was erasing that term. There we go. Yeah. Cross out that term. Okay. Which just leaves us with our heights and then the 1/2 GT squared. And the first thing we're going to have to solve for in this case is T. Okay. Important thing to remember in this question is that the velocity in the x direction for these problems never changes. It's a constant. That's going to make things easier when we reach our final step. Okay, so let's plug numbers in, okay, which I've already done here. Okay. So I've got 0.9 as the final height. Okay, that's the height of the net. 1.9 is the height of the server. And then that last term, the 1/2 GT squared. Okay. So now we're just doing algebra. Okay, subtract 1.9 from both sides. Okay, we get -1. Okay. Multiply both sides by 2. And divide by g, which is -9.8. Okay, don't forget the negative sign on that g, because if you do, you're going to get negative time, especially since you have to square root it. It's going to get really interesting and really wrong. So that leaves us with t squared on this side. Okay. So I did the math earlier. Okay. So this left side gives us 0.24 seconds. 204 seconds. Okay. And that's the time squared. Okay. And let's move up. Okay. Taking square roots both sides. Ooh, those are bad square root signs. Okay, we get that t, the time it takes to fall from the server's position to the net is 0.452 seconds. That's an S. Okay. This is important. If it were able to fall any longer, okay, if it fell for 0.5 seconds, it would hit the net. Next thing we have to do is find the velocity. And like I said earlier, velocity in the x direction is constant, so we can use the definition of velocity, which is velocity equals distance divided by time. Okay. In this case, our distance is distance from the server to the net, so 15 meters. Okay. Then we divide it by the time we just found, so 0.452. Okay. And we get a velocity as equal 33.2 meters per second. As I tell my students, don't forget your units. They're important. Otherwise, you don't know what you're talking about. Okay. Hope that helped out. If you have any questions in the future, of course, post them on the board. I'll answer them. Or if you'd like a tutoring session, you can come seek me out. Okay. Have a nice day.